What's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching Sit Down. Beth Behrs here with us. The neighborhood, cranking along. How are you?
I'm doing good. I didn't feel like doing my hair because it's just one of those days, as we all have had in quarantine, where you're just kind of like, my roots are bad. Can't get to a salon. So I got my cowboy hat on for you, by my friend Kate.
I like that. How many times have you gone with the cowboy hat through like the last 7 weeks? Has it been like intermittently here and there?
I've in my day-to-day life, I wear it pretty much every day because I go see my horse almost every day, and it's
Nice.
great to block from the sun. But I've only worn it in a few interviews, but I think now it's going to be my staple because why not? It's fashion. Let's make a statement. Quarantine cowboy.
I like it. How long have you had a horse?
I rescued her probably 5 or 6 years ago now. She's really cute. She's a rescue, half BLM, half quarter horse mare named Belle. Yeah.
Nice. Have you always had that passion, or was it something kind of later in life that happened?
Totally later in life from Two Broke Girls. My character Caroline had a horse on the show that lived in their backyard. And I fell in love with the horse on set that played Chestnut, and fell in love with the horse trainer, and that sounded wrong. Fell in love with him as a human, not romantically. Right. And got super into horses, and then ended up rescuing one of my own. And now I can't imagine my life without it. Yeah.
That's really cool. So you just mentioned Two Broke Girls. You've had this home on CBS for a really long time now. So why don't we talk about the neighborhood? I've talked to Max and Cedric and Tichina.
Awesome.
Amazing cast. What has been the best part of the experience for you?
Oh my gosh. The neighborhood has been truly one of the most magical experiences of my life. I mean, you've talked to the other cast, so you know sort of the level of not only talent that we have on this show, but also the heart of the people on this show, and how deeply we all believe, I think, in the story we're telling is truly something I haven't had in my career yet. And every day we go to work is so fun. I mean, I think if you saw the behind the scenes, it would make you laugh maybe even more than the show, just because we are crazy. But yeah, and the chemistry between everybody, between Shion and Marcel, who play Malcolm and Marty, and then, Tichina and I instantly bonded, and Max and Cedric instantly. It was sort of just like when we shot the pilot, there was an instant chemistry. And I had that with Kat Dennings too. So I've been really lucky on CBS for almost 10 years now to be able to have these beautiful experiences. And I hope we get to continue the show.
What has been the biggest surprise? Because you mentioned all these great things. Has anything really just blown you away in terms of something you didn't expect?
Oh man. Maybe how much fun, especially working with Cedric, is in front of the live audience. There's such an element of, you don't know what he's going to throw at you, which, as an actress who comes from the theater and sort of loves that live feeling and that electricity, I feel like working with Cedric has really excited that theater girl muscle in me, because he's so funny and unpredictable when we're shooting in front of the audience.
Did you guys shoot in front of an audience for Two Broke Girls?
We did. Okay. We totally did. Yeah. But there's something about, because Cedric's like a stand-up comedian. So I'm just an actress. I don't write, but he's so just a genius when it comes to jokes and physical comedy bits and everything. So it's been really fun to play with him in front of the live audience.
Yeah, it's funny because Max mentioned the same thing. It's just like playing with that audience and going into it is something that's a really important skill, especially when you're just trying to break through the rhythm each and every week.
Absolutely. And it's what I think makes sitcoms so magical, since, Carol Burnett show and all of that. There's an electricity you feel on camera that you can't have without the audience's energy. And that's why I've continued to do them, for almost 10 years now. Is the live audience to me is everything. It's my heart,
So I saw that video of you and Tichina dancing and singing. How did that all come together? That was perfect timing, by the way. We need a little outlet. So what's the backstory there?
It's so interesting because we shot it basically a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, not even, before we all went under lockdown. And now it just seems like the message of that video is more important than ever. But one of our producers had this idea. He loves the idea of me and Tichina being sort of retro, and he loved the message of the song and just thought it really fit with Gemma and Tina's relationship. And it kind of started as like a small idea. And then because Tichina and I love musicals and musical theater and love to sing and dance, and because of the insanely talented crew and choreographer and stuff we had, it just turned into this like larger than life music video that now I feel like is hopefully going to be like an iconic part of the neighborhood, you know, like a retro meets, meets modern, and the message of inclusivity and making your own kind of music really goes along with, I think, the message of the neighborhood, promoting love and community, especially now more than ever, is really important.
Yeah, it's really interesting because whether it's the neighborhood, Two Broke Girls, like you guys have always addressed these really important issues, but you've done it in a way that is a little bit more subtle and you're not like beating people over the head with it. So what's it like to have that runway to explore these bigger issues, but in like a less serious, maybe a little bit of a different way?
I think laughter is the most universal thing that brings people together, maybe music as well. But I think laughter in particular, there's a release that happens. And a lot of times laughter comes out of a release of tragedy. And I think because both Two Broke Girls and the neighborhood dealt with some could be controversial issues in society that also a lot of times break people apart, having the laughter element brings people together. And we're so lucky to have Jim Reynolds and Cedric, at our helm, making sure that the stories are told in a way that ultimately always brings people together through laughter, and hopefully is never alienating and divisive in that sense.
Why don't we go backwards a little bit? You mentioned the 10-year relationship. Take me back to right before Two Broke Girls. Like, where were you at in your career? What did you anticipate with the show? And like, what's the wildest part of that whole experience?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was eating ramen every night, sharing a 1-bedroom tiny little apartment with my best friend, and working 7 days a week. I was working as a waitress, but not when I got to Broke Girls. I was working as a nanny and a concierge bartender at a theater in LA. But so I was a broke girl. And then I had been auditioning for years, and I went to theater school and grew up doing theater, but Two Broke Girls was really my first time doing film and television in a real way. And it was both terrifying and the best. I mean, the moment that Michael Patrick King called me and told me I booked Two Broke Girls, I'll never forget breaking down and crying, because it's still one of the best moments of my life. I know how lucky I am. I know how hard actors try to just survive and make a living doing what we love to do. And so the fact that I knew with that phone call, something in me knew the show was special, and just knew with him and with Kat, it was going to be something. And it changed my life overnight. I got a 2-bedroom apartment with my roommate. Eventually was able to buy this house. And now I've just been so lucky to continue my relationship with CBS and with another great group of actors. I mean, I truly feel so lucky because both groups of actors and crew, I'm actually the same camera crew.
Wow.
A lot of them are the same as Two Broke Girls. So we laugh because they saw me at, 23, 24 years old, and like 7-inch Louboutins, falling off of buildings and stuff. And then now on the neighborhood, I get to wear sneakers most of the time, and they're like, yeah,
You're like, it's about time I get some comfortable footwear.
And I'm 34, and they're like, we watched you grow up. So it's like a family now. And even the CBS executives, I feel like they've watched me grow from broke girl to woman on the neighborhood.
Yeah, you guys did over 130 episodes of Two Broke Girls. Like that's insane.
We didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's
TV
crazy.
shows, like it's lucky if they last a couple seasons, and like you guys were able to break through with a smash hit.
It's so cool when it's on, when you just click on the TV and it happens to be on in syndication, and you watch an episode, and I'm like, I literally have no idea what happens in this episode. I feel like I'm watching somebody else because I don't remember. After 130, there's just no way. But yeah, I mean, now it's rare on TV to get something like that. Who knows if I'll ever have it again. So that was really, that's a really special thing.
Have you been watching anything good during the quarantine?
Yes, my husband is one of the leads on the new Penny Dreadful on Showtime, also in the CBS family. Yep. And I'm loving it. It's Nathan Lane he's been my hero for a long time with comedy, and to watch him play this role on Penny Dreadful has been such a delight, and he's such a wonderful human. And my husband's so good, even though I'm biased, but I think he's so wonderful in the show. So everybody should tune into Penny Dreadful and The Neighborhood.
Well, that's a perfect example of a show that it's like we're going places like we haven't been in TV before. It's like 1930s, Los Angeles, all this weird stuff's happening.
Demons.
Yeah, demons, wild stuff. Like think about the progression of TV, like from when you're doing Two Broke Girls to now. Like it's really remarkable.
Well, I think there's no sort of rules or barriers anymore. It's like the more original the story you're telling, almost the more exciting it is. And I think that that's a really cool new territory in TV.
Well, Beth, thanks for hanging out. Great talking to you.
Thank you. This is awesome. So nice to talk to you.